Oh, it's live, pal.
Sorry.
We will ban you from the Summerfest.
Right here in the Silverdome.
Jeff Harvey.
And I have half the brain that you do.
Welcome to the Wrestle Hunks Podcast, a podcast where three hunks get together and discuss some of the very worst things you can find on the WWE Network, and the only podcast that is run by jerkies. I'm your host, the Mordecai of microphone, Brandon Marlow, and as always, I'm joined by the hunkiest hunk, Brody Price.
In the words of Otis and Tucker, nothing makes a person more happy than a whole lot of meat inside them.
That's very, very true. I'm very full of meat right now.
Exactly.
I'm also joined by the IMDb of wrestling, Nathan Marlow.
Beef, cheese, ducky.
Oh, sorry, did I say Nathan Marlow? We're joined by the one and only Otis Dozovic.
Hey, pretty lady, I'm coming.
I remember back in the day when you couldn't stand Heavy Machinery, Nat, and now you're the biggest fan.
I am their biggest fan, but that's okay.
Well, this week we are reviewing the very first episode of NXT, and when we say episode 1, we really mean it. This is the game show format, not the kind of format that everyone knows and loves that is filmed at Full Sail University. This is the one that was selling out arenas across the entire United States. Boys, had either of you seen the debut episode of NXT before?
Yeah, I think when I was, they cancelled ECW, I was kind of bummed, but then they were like, hey, NXT's happening, so I remember watching this, and I couldn't really remember the matches that happened on it, but I was fairly confident I watched this first episode.
What about you, Nat?
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces. I think I've seen this. Not too sure.
Yeah, I feel like I did watch the old debut episode. I feel like year 10 Brandon was like, oh, fuck. Time to get home and watch NXT. What's this all about? See Wade Barrett just wear a cool jacket with a flower on it. It's really everything I could have asked for at that age.
We all needed to know what it was. It was very mysterious.
So, in general, what are your boys' memories of the game show version of NXT?
I only really watched the first season. I can't really remember watching much. Actually, Chicks in America, Derek Bateman, that's like the only other thing apart from season 1 that I remember. So, yeah.
What about you, Nat?
I remember the relationships between the pros and stuff, and I remember Johnny Curtis and Chartruth got their tag team title shot in like main event or Superstars.
That's very true. Yeah, when I was doing research for this podcast, I did find out that Johnny Curtis got his tags.
Caval could take a championship match for anyone, and he chose the Intercontinental title.
He was realistic. He didn't think he could go for the world title, so just mid card.
I mean, he lost, so he was right.
Speaking of Johnny Curtis's tag title match, I believe he actually got his tag title match on an episode of proper NXT.
Nice.
Him and Michael McGillicuddy, had it on NXT against the Usos, maybe? One of those tag teams. It's real weird. But yeah, I feel like I'm probably the most dedicated NXT fan here. I used to watch it, I swear, like every week, even when it was just like a joke at the end with Yoshi Totsu and Tyson Kidd feuding over an action figure being broken. I was just like, I want to watch this. Trent Beretta, fucking Tyler X, the whole gang's here.
The boys.
I mean, I had to support it after I saw Trent Beretta spinning around on the escalator on Zack Ryder's YouTube show.
Yeah, memories.
So, the first episode of NXT was held on February 23rd, 2010, and on this day in history, we've got Danielle Steele's novel Big Girl being published. Unknown criminals pour more than 2.5 million litres of diesel oil and other hydrocarbons into the river Lambro in northern Italy, causing an environmental disaster. Sad day for everyone there. And in pop culture, Shutter Island was the #1 film at the box office, and Everybody Hurts by Helping Haiti was the top song on the charts.
Nice.
This episode of NXT was taped at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and the rating for this episode was a 1.3. This, probably not to the surprise of anyone, was the highest rated episode in the show's history, and NXT would actually only manage to hit a 1.0 5 more times in its history, which doesn't really surprise me at all. What did surprise me, though, is like random episodes in the middle of the season, like right before the finale, did higher numbers than the finale, which I wouldn't have expected. I think the finale did like a 0.8 or something, and couple weeks before it did a 1. So WWE fans are a fickle bunch.
Yeah, when we have time, we'll watch it.
I'll watch it delayed, you know. On bloody Fox 8+2. So the history of NXT. On February 2nd, 2010, WWE Chairman Vince McMahon announced that a new weekly program would replace the cancelled ECW in its time slot on Sci-Fi. McMahon described the show as the next evolution of WWE and the next evolution of television history. So some bold claims there. And they're only announcing this show like 20 days before it actually comes on, so it's pretty abrupt. On the February 4th episode of Superstars, the show's name was actually revealed and announced as NXT, and the show's format was then revealed in an article by Variety on February 16, with a press release from WWE made shortly after that day. NXT is the second reality-based series produced by the WWE, the first being Tough Enough, which aired between 2001 and 2004, which, Nat, I feel like you've watched every single episode of that, surely?
Yeah, probably.
It also came back for a couple seasons in years that escape me. I can't remember what years they were.
2014, 15,
Just
and
rattling
11, I think.
off the bloody top of your noggin.
Yeah.
Which one was Andy, the fucking silent rage guy in?
11.
Oh, that was a bad one. I did watch that one. That was
pretty bad. It is pretty bad.
not good. So due to WWE's nature of airing weekly shows without any hiatus, the plan was for NXT to split up its episodes in the year into seasons, which we ended up seeing. They ended up doing 5 seasons, with the 5th season never really ending, and the 6th proposed season actually never happening, even though it was planned at one stage. The first season of NXT began airing on Sci-Fi on February 23, obviously, and would end on June 1st. The majority of the Season 1 cast was revealed on the final episode of ECW. However, before the season's premiere aired, Skip Sheffield's pro was changed, with William Regal replacing the announced Montel Vontavious Porter. So, unfortunately, he got the flick for whatever reason. So, rest in peace, MVP. You could have livened up this show, maybe. Near the end of this season, several changes were made to the original plan of the format. The season was scheduled to be 17 weeks long, but it ended up being cut down to 15 episodes. And basically, the format of the show would see in various weeks polls being held to evaluate the success of each rookie and determine the winner of the competition. The poll rankings are entirely determined by votes from the pros, and starting from Season 2, there are also votes from fans via WWE's official website. In the pros' votes, each of the pros would vote on their favourite rookie, but couldn't vote for their own rookie. Their votes are based on the following 4 criteria: win-loss record within the show, strength of opponents, work ethic, and it factor. Initially, the NXT trademark was disputed between WWE and Scotland's Scottish Wrestling Alliance, whose developmental division was also called NXT. WWE worked with SWA to secure the NXT trademark for their new series, with SWA's developmental branch being renamed SWA Source. The rookie and pro pairings for this season were Chris Jericho with Wade Barrett, Matt Hardy with Justin Gabriel, CM Punk with Darren Young, R-Truth with David Otunga, Christian with Heath Slater, William Regal with Skip Sheffield, Carlito with Michael Tarver, and probably the most famous pairing, The Miz with Daniel Bryan. So that brings us to the actual show here. The number of dead people on this show is 0, which is not too surprising considering it was in 2010, but there are quite a few dead careers here.
Ouch.
You know, when you look at the list of... Actually, there's not that many dead careers there when you look at the list of pros. Like, Carlito's career kind of died, and that's about it. The Miz is still kicking, William Regal's too old, Christian's retired, R-Truth's still going, CM Punk's a sad sack. Matt Hardy and Chris Jericho still going, so decent
And
enough.
Carlito appeared on the Edge and Christian show.
Oh,
He
so
was
he's,
helping Edge and Christian find buddy Sean Mooney's pants.
that's I feel like I've seen that episode like 4 times. The Edge and Christian show where they have Carlito.
It's a good one.
In my book, that's the only episode that exists.
No, exactly.
So before the show actually aired, Jimmy Wang Yang and Slam Master Jay defeated Tyler Rex and Vance Archer in a dark match.
Man,
Which,
poor Jesse. I feel bad for him.
if you ever wanted to, have a snapshot of WWE's undercard, that match right there captures it. Like, shout out to Tyler Rex and Vance Archer. I don't know if I ever saw those guys have a match on Raw or SmackDown. I feel like they're just always on the C and D tier shows.
I can't believe Vance Archer replaced Tyler Rex with Davey Boy Smith or whoever he's got now.
Yeah, he really should have been tagging with Tyler Rex over in New Japan.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, Tyler Rex, the absolute arrogance of him, he took the Burning Hammer as his finishing move, which is the move that no one's supposed to ever kick out of, even though I think it was Ibushi kicked out of it in the Cruiserweight Classic.
I don't even know what it is, if I'm being honest.
It's also Michael Elgin's finisher, if that helps at all.
I don't watch Michael.
Can't say I watch my. Yeah, about to say.
Hey, he had a good match with Kenny Omega once, so apparently that gets you a career.
He debuted today for Impact.
Oh, well, I guess I'm definitely never going to watch Impact. Sorry, Johnny Impact, I can't watch anymore. So the show kicks off with the opening intro package that kind of introduces the format, and we get the hands-down greatest wrestling show intro theme ever, Wild and Young by American Bang, so shout out to them. Whew, what a theme. I fucking love this. This was my, I was going to say childhood, but I was in the middle of my teens, so it doesn't really count.
I mean, I have that there as well. That's like my first note I made, is that song's a banger.
It really is. I think they changed it up in the following seasons, but why would you change up greatness?
Yeah, now they've got fucking Slipknot as their theme song in NXT. I can't believe it.
Oh, mate, I started falling off watching NXT Weekly when they decided to change the intro theme 3 consecutive weeks.
The roar of the crowd.
That was the best one, and then they changed it. I'm like, oh, all right, I'll get used to this one. But then the next week they changed it again.
Yeah.
And I think the week after that they changed it back. I'm like, oh.
Those were all better than the one they have now. It's not good.
What is the one they have now? I don't think I've heard it.
I'm not too sure. I wouldn't listen to it if I were you. I value you keeping your hearing.
Oh, well, it can't be any worse than that song that they would play on the network for a bit, where I thought it was actually Sasha Banks and AJ Styles fucking singing.
That's a good song, you fucking cunt.
Nah, that's a garbage song. It would be good if the wrestlers were singing it, but they're not, so I don't like it.
Dream big.
I thought they were singing it.
So did I.
Best of both worlds. It starts here tonight.
How do you know the words to this song?
It's a good song. That's why.
So the intro to NXT is basically just awkward close-up shots of the rookies' faces and then them doing taunts and cool kicks in an empty ring. I really think current day NXT should use this for the intro, especially if the song is as bad as you're saying, Pricey.
I don't know if anything could help it, but maybe that.
Yeah, just get a close-up of Adam Cole, and then Kyle O'Reilly can do a sick kick, and then Matt Riddle can do one of his cool taunts.
Yeah.
So when they show which rookie is with which pro, it's like a fucking old school sitcom where they'd be doing something wacky in the house, and then they'd look at the camera and it would freeze. It's just some Brady Bunch ass shit. I swear they had to do this on under time pressure. There's no way that they really took their time. Yeah, this is definitely the product we want to put together. So when the actual show kicks off, we see all the rookies standing in the backstage interview area. They're all in their gear except David Otunga, who's too cool for school in jeans and a hoodie. The Miz shows up and talks down on Daniel Bryan. He says that you need to expect anything in the WWE, and he tells Bryan to go to the ring and introduce himself and show some charisma. He also tells him to have a good catchphrase, He'll actually be getting one of those a little bit later on in his career. The Miz's music hits, and for some reason we're still backstage with the Miz just staring down the camera. He then eventually says Bryan's personality is drier than the Mojave Desert. That's actually how he pronounces it. He doesn't. I don't know if Miz just fucked up or he doesn't know how to say Mojave Desert, but he's trying. It doesn't save the segment though. This is really fucking bad. I don't know what you guys thought about your first taste of NXT here, but I fucking hated this opening segment.
I mean, it was awkward when Bryan left and then Miz was sort of just staring at the camera for a while and then he started talking.
I expected it to cut to like Bryan like out on the stage and it just stayed there and I'm like, oh, what? So Michael Cole then introduces us to the show as Bryan starts to make his way out. Michael Cole hasn't had his soul broken by this show yet, so he's actually trying to talk it up, and he's joined by Josh Matthews. So we've got the fucking dream team out here on NXT. We really should have reviewed like season 3 when they just lose their minds.
Oh, that's next, I think.
They then throw back to Matt Striker, who's backstage and dressed pretty casually for a dude who's supposed to be hosting this show. And then we get the ring announcer introducing Daniel Bryan. And do either of you have any idea who the fuck this ring announcer is?
No.
I've seen it's like Lena, something like that, isn't it? I can't remember.
Oh, I think that. I think you're kind of ringing some bells there.
It's Gail Kim.
Yeah, I don't know what her name is.
She's not good though. I can see why she was doing NXT.
Lena Vega.
So Bryan gets on the mic and says that he wishes his pro was William Regal. Miz then eventually interrupts him and Bryan says, "You better watch what you say or I'll submit you right now." Real glad that Bryan took those acting classes and improved his promo work, because could you imagine the new Daniel Bryan trying to get himself over with quality lines like that? It's like, hey, you better respect the planet or I'll submit you right now. So Miz keeps emphasizing that he needs a catchphrase, and he comes up with the really cool catchphrase of, you either tap or you snap. Which...
Yeah.
Is again, not great. Miz says he failed, and I agree with him, and then he slaps Daniel Bryan. We immediately see a replay of this slap for some reason, and we cut back to Bryan, who's still in the ring, and he gets on the mic again and says he's going to slap the Miz back. Fuck, how bad is this promo?
It's not one of the best ones. Sorry, I was just looking up Lena Yada, who was the ring announcer of NXT. Promo. What have I got here? Do I have notes for this? No, it's not great, but it's kind of weird just seeing this and seeing how the Bryan Miz feud started out with this, and now and then ended up in like a big SummerSlam match with two former world champions. Kind of bizarre, I suppose.
Just a real slow burn, start off with absolute garbage and then slowly get better as you go on.
Exactly.
But yeah, this whole segment is just so weirdly laid out. I don't know why they cut to a replay of the slap immediately after it happens, and then Bryan's still in the ring. I thought we were going to go commercial or something, but apparently not. So, we're not done yet with Bryan and The Miz. Matt Striker is waiting backstage and interviews Bryan during the commercial break, and it's basically as cringeworthy as the opening promo. After all of that is out of the way, we finally get our first taste of wrestling on NXT. It's Christian and Heath Slater defeating Carlito and Michael Tarver via pinfall. This match goes 4 minutes and 14 seconds.
Reversal there, perhaps a mix-up as Christian counter. Look at Slater! Slater getting involved to help Christian out. And Christian with a flying elbow. Tarver's in trouble. Christian and Slater working well together. Kill switch. Christian into the cover. And Christian and Slater win.
Carlito and Tarver make their entrance, and we see a video package for Tarver. He wears a pretty cool fedora during this. Christian and Heath Slater then make their entrance, and Heath walks out looking like he's lost. He's also wearing trunks instead of tights, and it really disturbs me deeply. We then get a video package for Slater, and then we get the start of the match. It's Heath Slater and Carlito kicking things off. Both of the rookies end up getting tagged in, and then they eventually make hot tags to their pros. Christian attempts the kill switch on Carlito, but he escapes. Carlito tags in Tarver, and Christian hits the kill switch on him to get the win. What did you guys think of the very first match in NXT history?
Yeah, I just have here. It's just a very basic wrestling match. I don't know if you have a time, 4 minutes 14. Yeah, obviously not a lot of time to work with, but it's very stock standard. They sort of just beat up Slater, and then he gets the hot tag. Christian gets the win. It's pretty basic, but I just have here Christian and Heath Slater. That's pretty much my dream team of two guys that I wanted to see tagged together. So that was exciting for me.
What were your thoughts, Nat?
Yeah, probably the same. It was a very, very basic tag team match. Sorry, Heath Slater's charisma was weird. I mean, it seemed like he didn't know what to do when they won the match, and Christian really had to direct him what to do. I think he was trying to get Slater to do the peeps thing, but he was just throwing his hands up doing rock band stuff.
Yeah, that was his cool thing in FCW that he was doing on the top rope after they won.
That must have worked for him. Yeah, it was weird to kind of see Carlito here. It looked like your drunken stepdad. And I don't know, him and Michael Tarver are such a weird pairing. I don't know, it was very boring start to the show.
Well, you mentioned Carlito looking like a drunken stepdad. Is that what you said?
Stepdad, yeah.
Well, there's a good reason for that. He's actually going to get released in... Let me see. Yeah, he gets released May
21st. May 21st.
Yeah, May 21st, because he refused rehab, which... You know, that's when you know
he was addicted to painkillers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he was addicted to partying.
No.
But yeah, and they continue the show without him, which poor Michael Tarver, you know... I think actually Michael Tarver got voted off by then, so it didn't really matter. Yeah, look, I thought Tarver and Slater's portion of the match wasn't too bad. I was expecting the rookies to get in there and just have like an absolute botch fest, but it was a lot smoother than I was expecting, and you know, it wasn't as dog shit as I was kind of dreading when it was first kicking off. However, this is really just a generic throwaway tag match, so you know, there's not a whole lot to say about it. I just wanted to know, when Tarver comes out, why did he have like a flag or something around his neck? Like
around his neck.
Yeah, no, it was I thought it was a towel, a big towel.
Was it? It looked like a flag or something. I'm like, oh man, you get your VC up and afford to buy some bloody ring entrance gear. I did think though that Tarver doing the cricket review signal is pretty cool. He's a trendsetter there. Yeah. So I send that up to the third umpire. They also call him Mr. 1.9 seconds because that's how long he lasts in bed, so... Seriously though, who would have okayed that for his catchphrase here? Like, oh yeah, Mr. 1.9 seconds, that's a good idea. You should definitely say that in a video package introducing you to the WWE Universe.
Yeah, it works.
I mean, it really does. He gets eliminated first, so...
So it worked.
My last note here is just, why does it always sound like Heath Slater has a cold? He always sounds like he has a cold when he speaks, and it's like, oh man, someone get him a fucking tissue so he can blow his nose. But yeah, not a whole lot to say about this match. It's really the definition of just a throwaway tag. Even with like kind of the NXT rookie pro dynamic going on here, there's not a whole lot to say. So after the match, we cut backstage to see CM Punk, Festus, and the bald lady who's going to get fired eventually with Darren Young. We also see R-Truth with David Otunga. After the commercial, we get a promo for WrestleMania 26 because I hadn't realised this before I started watching it, but we're in WrestleMania season, so we get a promo for Mania 26 set to I Made It by Kevin Rudolph. So,
banger.
Man, this is just the GOAT era of WWE. No bias here, just... Fuck, loved it when Kevin Rudolph was running the game, and gee, WrestleMania 26 is just a special time in WWE history. So after we get that commercial, we get David Otunga defeating Darren Young via pinfall in 37 seconds.
Two young men in this ring here who, think very highly of themselves.
These guys probably get along pretty well, Cole, and now here they are competing against each other in this competition.
Oh, wow. Otunga quickly hooks the leg on Young. Does he have him here? And he got him. Wow.
As Darren Young makes his entrance, we see a promo from earlier in the day where CM Punk questions why he's even on the show. We then get a promo package for David Otunga, and we find out why Otunga was wearing jeans while everyone was in their gear. It's because he has tearaway jeans, which is actually pretty cool. I'll give old mate Otunga some credit there, because I did enjoy that. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about this match. Basically, Otunga hits his finisher very poorly for the win. Then Punk, Fake Kane, and Bald Lady are less than impressed by Young's efforts. What did you guys think of this squash match?
Jesus. Well, at first I thought, what the fuck's going on with Darren Young's hair? That's very interesting. I guess he's trying to stand out, but fuck, I wouldn't say it's a great look. And then watching that, did they air a promo for David Otunga? They did, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
I just thought, this bloke's going places. He's got fucking Barack Obama in his corner, and he's fucking just, chiseled out of stone. So he's obviously going to be a future world champion. So the match, obviously, there's not really much you can say. The finish was kind of shit, and then that's it. That's all we saw. So not great.
Well, I thought this match was it happened, but it was a good story. Darren Young just wanting some advice, and CM Punk just says to the camera, "Why am I here?" And I thought I agree with that. I thought Serena was a snack. She looks good in the white shirt. If you happen to watch the next week's episode, she's in a black shirt. She doesn't look as good. Someone should have told her. But it's just a big squash match when you're trying to build characters. Wrestlers. Sorry, it's kind of weird.
Well, CM Punk was really ahead of the game on NXT, doing the whole "why the fuck am I here" shtick. That really wouldn't take off and get popular until a couple seasons from now. So CM Punk again, damn trailblazer.
Exactly right.
But yeah, I agree with you, Nat. I just question the value of a squash match on this kind of show. Like, I don't see the point of it. Like, you don't need to kind of do squashes to build people up because you're trying to do the whole reality show type angle. Yeah, I don't know what the point of this is other than just really burying Darren Young. I'm surprised he didn't end up getting voted off first. I guess he does look like Black John Cena, so
that works for him.
He's got that working in his favour. This was CM Punk in his straight edge society era, and he's real looking like Charles Manson here. It's just it was such a vibe. Fucking good look for Punk. A lot better than when he got the mutton chops like Heath Ledger's fucking Wolverine. That was not a good look.
Heath Ledger.
Hugh Jackman. Heath Ledger's fucking dead, man.
I was like, did Heath Ledger play? Okay.
CM Punk at the end of his career when he was looking real sleep deprived, that was him trying to beat Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Dead Heath Ledger. So something I didn't mention here is that Darren Young's pro is R-Truth, and obviously the rookies don't have entrance music, so they all come out to
You mean David Otunga?
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. Fuck, man, I'm getting confused here.
All over the place, mate. All good, mate.
Well, yeah, David Otunga comes out with R-Truth, and because of this, that means R-Truth is just doing his usual entrance. Well, Otunga kind of walks behind and just rips his pants off, which... It's up there with Eve Torres crumping to R-Truth's entrance music in the kind of the Hall of Fame of R-Truth entrances.
Yeah.
And yeah, just to finish it off, I'm going to shave a star in my head like Otunga.
Oh, you'd be crazy not to.
Yeah, how did this boy not win a WWE Championship? He had all the packages. He was married to a famous lady. He had a star in his head, tearaway pants. He could have been anything. So, after that match, we get a replay of Miz slapping Bryan. And then, hell yeah, boys, time for the Raw Rebound. And more excitingly, it's sponsored by WWE Mobile, which you can use to download Dave Batista's entrance music as a ringtone.
Yes.
So, I mean, I feel like that probably wouldn't have been available for people outside of America, but I know as a kid I would have been like, fuck yeah, I want to get Batista's entrance theme on my Sony Ericsson. So in this Raw Rebound, Cena is real mad at Vince for screwing him at Elimination Chamber. This was where Batista came and challenged him after he'd had a grueling Elimination Chamber match. So Vince puts Cena in a match against Batista, and if Cena wins, he gets a match at Mania. Batista ends up just kicking him in the nuts to get disqualified and then beats him up. I don't think Cena's going to be able to overcome these odds at WrestleMania 26, unfortunately.
I just wrote Batista. That's it. All in the notes. Just kept writing Batista over and over.
Well, I mean, I don't blame you. Like, he's fucking real dominant here. I think he's going to be around for a long time, you know. I definitely don't think he's going anywhere.
No, not at all.
I thought it was also interesting to note that this Raw Rebound is the longest segment on the show, pretty much.
Ah, well, I see why.
I literally wrote like this takes up half the show, the Raw Rebound.
Like, I don't know, the main event is 6 minutes long, so it probably does cover it here, but this Raw Rebound is quite lengthy, so...
Yeah.
And it comes pretty close to being the longest part of the show. And NXT... Oh, were you going to say Pricey?
It's not really a Raw Rebound either. It's just one fucking storyline on Raw that they're recapping.
Yeah, it's just, instead of a Raw Rebound, it's just like, we're going to replay all of the Cena Batista segments from this week's Raw.
That's it.
So, oh, cool. If it means we don't have to watch fucking Michael Tarver anymore, I guess that's fine by me. But yeah, because NXT is an hour-long show, well, like 54 minutes actually, we are at Nat's Trivia already, because we're already up to the main event.
Oh, yeehaw. I was not ready for this, to be real. I didn't know when I was going to come in.
Well, I got something to say if you want me to just quickly...
Yeah, go ahead, mate.
I just want, because I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to say it, because I forgot to say it at the start of the show, but Justin Gabriel's not on the rest of the card, I don't think. I just want to know why he looks about 14 here, and now he looks like he's in his 50s. Like, have you... I'll put a picture into the Discord. If anyone hasn't seen, look up PJ Black.
PJ.
The Darewolf. That man looks like he's fucking 100 years old, and I don't know why.
The industry's been harsh on him.
He hasn't aged well.
I think the only real like mention of Justin Gabriel on this show is like at some point they say like Justin Gabriel's going to be in action next week.
Yeah.
Which was Justin Gabriel like big on the indies or something? Like maybe if they were like, oh, Daniel Bryan's going to be in action next week.
He's been working since 2002.
But I feel like he wasn't really like a name, was he?
No, not really.
Because like knowing Justin Gabriel's in action next week, I'm not going to be like, oh, better tune in. Like I don't know who he is. You got to tell me who he is.
He's only 38. What the fuck?
Jeez, he's almost as old as AJ Styles.
That's insane. He looks very old, but yeah, he's like clean shaven, dark hair. He looks like he's a child. So I mean, he was doing something right back then, but then all those years in WWE just really, really aged him, I suppose.
He's 38 in normal years, but he's like 68 in South African years.
Exactly.
So Nat, have you got your trivia together?
Do. It's now time for Nat's Tarver and T, which stands for NXT, which is like next trivia. Dude.
There you go.
Bad Street. All right, boys. All right, so it's now time for trivia. The trivia score is Pricey on 12, Brandon on 11. Ooh. But before we get to that, this week's trivia is sponsored by the brand new hit TV series 6 in the City, and you can follow 6 cowboys learning how to play cricket.
Learning how to play cricket? I speak for yourself.
I mean, they didn't in episode 1. They didn't seem to do very, very well, which premiered last night.
Hey, they tried their best, but that's what
Logico and I made 20 runs as our pair. I thought we really, held it up out there.
That's it.
Alrighty, let's get started. You guys ready?
Yes.
Alright, question 1. Question 1. What was Wade Barrett's tag team name with Stardust?
Oh God, I don't know.
It's not the Cosmic Wasteland.
I was going to say that because his finisher is Wasteland.
Finisher's the Wasteland, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, gee, it's like on the tip of my tongue, yeah.
Bloody British.
The Glove and Rose connection.
I've got no fucking clue. Did they have a name? I didn't know that.
They had a name. If you guys give up, you can give up.
Yeah, I'm going to give up, but I'm going to know it as soon as you say it.
Any guess, Brody?
No, I got no idea.
It's the Lords of Darkness.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that.
I was never getting that.
Lords
you
of
guys-
Darkness.
Yeah, question 2. You guys should get this one pretty quickly. What is Justin Gabriel's name on the Indies?
PJ Black.
Yeah.
I think that's Brody first, just by a nose hair.
The Darewolf.
Just by an Albert nose ring.
And Albert dick piercing.
That's the one. But this is one you guys won't get. At the December 9th FCW television tapings, Michael Tarver returned from injury and defeated who?
Oh, fuck. I actually looked at this. I went through Michael Tarver's whole fucking Wikipedia page.
Lucky Cannon.
Incorrect. That's a good guess, though.
Oh, no.
Mate,
I'm going to say Mike Dalton.
No, incorrect. It's Donnie Marlow.
Oh, yes. I did. I made note of that.
Any relation? Oh.
Maybe.
Was,
Maybe it was me.
That was Nat. Yeah, it was Nat. He took a day off school that day. I'm like, where's Nat? Why isn't he on the bus?
Alrighty, question 4. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The Nexus Alliance consists of who?
What? Nexus Alliance?
The Nexus Alliance consists of who?
What?
It's an indie tag team name.
Oh, Darren Young, Michael Tarver, and... Who's the other one?
Darren Young, Michael Tarver, and Mason Ryan.
Incorrect.
Tarver, Young, and...
Who else is on indies, mate?
Yeah, I'm trying to... PJ Black.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Bing, bing, bing.
Good grab.
That was a good guess though, Brandon. Mason Ryan.
Yeah, that was a good guess, actually.
Does he still wrestle?
I don't know.
He's in Hollywood. He's Drax, mate. He's playing
going to be
Drax.
the Batista.
He did do a couple of acting gigs. You looking him up?
I'm doing it right now. He's from
Well, we didn't know.
Portmodog or something. His name Barry Griffiths.
Isn't he?
Barry.
He does like Cirque du Soleil or something now, doesn't he?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, yeah, he hasn't wrestled since 2015. His retirement match against Moose. The match before that, he had a World Heavyweight Championship match against Rich Swann.
Nice.
I mean, you gotta respect that.
He's wrestling everyone here. Jeez, he had a career in the Indies.
Alright, are you ready? Question 5?
I'm always ready.
Are you ready, Bren?
Oh, I thought I was waiting for you to get into the question.
Oh wow, he looks really weird.
Just quickly, Mason Ryan wrestled our favourite wrestler, Solomon Crow, in NXT, so...
Wow, shit, did not remember
Nice. I'm sure Solomon Crow won.
No, Mason Ryan won.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean, mate. Question 5. Can you name David Otunga's tag team title partners?
Cena,
Miz, and McGillicuddy.
No, Miz.
Cena and McGillicuddy.
Incorrect. I'm going to have to give it to Brody. He said the 2 correct names, though.
What?
What?
McGillicuddy and Cena. He said Miz as well, though.
Yeah, it should have been incorrect.
No. Well, you already got it wrong as well, mate.
Wait, who? So what were they? Just Cena.
I just fucking said.
Well then, wait. So
McGillicuddy and John Cena. You were right.
I'm
going to take these points off you soon.
Don't, Dad.
But bonus question, Brandon. It's for fucking 4 points, so you can take the lead. Yeah. All right. Question 6. Question 6. Closest answer wins. How many Slammies did Ryback win?
3.
Fucking. I hope 0.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
He won 5.
Whoa, you won all of them.
I'm going to go through them. Well, what's his first one? His first one's Shocker of the Year.
Give me a shocker.
The debut of the Nexus. His next one, he had 3 in 2012. Sorry, your Newcomer of the Year. That was I don't know if that's true. The Trending Now Slammy, which was #FeedMeMore. We have Crowd Chant of the Year, which was also Feed Me More. And his last Slammy coming with Match of the Year in 2014, Team Cena versus Team Authority.
Oh, I was going to say, that's definitely not a singles match that he was in.
Yeah. So, the next one is question 7. That comes after 6.
It does.
On the May 10th episode of Raw, Carlito and Primo attacked R-Truth. But why?
That's a good question.
I always ask myself that. Why? Why would R-Truth do that?
I mean, you're not getting it, but like, I have to ask it.
Because he beat up. Did you say it was Carlito and Primo?
Yeah.
R-Truth beat up Epico.
No.
He's trying to hit on Rosa Mendez.
Incorrect. The answer is because Ted DiBiase Jr. paid them to do it.
Of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, this must have been
And you're
before the
asking,
Posse
you're
parties.
asking yourself right now, where did this lead to? This storyline ended up being Carlito was released in 11 days. 11 days.
I was just thinking because you mentioned Ted DiBiase, and I remember his classic feud with Camacho and Hunico about them not being able to get into the Posse parties, even though they were free and available for anyone to get into.
Yep.
You said Donnie Marlow or whatever the fuck that dude was. That was Camacho, aka
So we're related to him.
Tongaloa.
We're related to him.
So I can't believe we're in Bullet Club.
Sweet.
It's like Gino Gambino.
Are you guys Tongan? I didn't know that.
Honorary Tongans like Chase Owens.
Yeah,
must be.
exactly. Haku's my daddy. Question 8. Who did Darren Young face at Battleground 2016?
The Miz.
I know this.
Correct.
Oh fuck! Was it the Miz?
It was his
was
great
that-
singles comeback with Bob Backlund.
Make Darren Young great again.
Was that when Bob Backlund got shirtless?
Oh, I hope so.
I don't know, maybe.
What a weird unit.
This is a hard question, but possibly someone could get it. Question 9. Can you name the final 3 of WrestleMania 32's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
Corbin, Kane, and Big Show.
Incorrect.
I'm gonna say I'll go Corbin Kane as well. That sounds kind of correct. And Darren Young.
Correct. Oh my god.
How the fuck? That's.
I mean, it was going to be one of the fucking.
Yeah, I probably should have thought out what the questions were about. But
Good
I'm trying
get.
to make Darren Young great again.
Well, this is interesting because we're tied up for the last question.
oh, it is interesting.
So I'm just going to ask this, and you're going to have to answer. That's how trivia works, guys. Question 10. How many titles does Brody King have?
3.
4.
Correct. 3.
Oh, did you lose one? I did.
What was it?
Never mind.
Yeah. Wow, Brandon takes trivia. He snatched it. Absolutely fucked it.
It's all that Brody King matches that I've watched. All 2 of them, they finally paid off.
He said, I am next, but with an NXT, and I have tied up the trivia 12 all. This is going down to the wire. Have you got anything to say for yourself?
I really want to win the Donnie Marlow Memorial Trophy.
I might hit him up and say, where were you for Nan's bloody B-Day?
Like, mate, you have not even sent me any well wishes for my birthdays for the past, 10 years. You got a
10 years.
bloody big ego on you ever since you started dinking old mate to the ring.
Dinking old mate. Alright, that's trivia, boys.
Ooh, so God bless trivia, because without it, this episode would have been about 20 minutes long. I didn't realise NXT was this short. I was really expecting a fucking challenge to be in here or something. Am I alone in thinking that?
For you?
Oh, I was kind of bummed when there wasn't, if I'm being honest.
Do you mean a challenge on NXT or in trivia?
No, in NXT.
I can drive to your house right now and set up the bloody boot camp challenge. Or the keg challenge.
Yeah, I was expecting there was going to be a keg challenge or the one where Daniel Bryan has to sell the programs or something to fill out time, because I was looking at the matches and geez, that's 5 seconds. And then they somehow filled out the show though. So Chris Jericho in the main event defeats Daniel Bryan via submission, goes 5 minutes and 54 seconds.
Understand breaker. Bryan got caught. Took a little bit too much time going back on the attack after Jericho made it to the ropes. And the veteran Chris Jericho capitalized. but a performance like this by Daniel Bryan has got to be resonating in the minds of these NXT rookies watching in the back.
Let's not forget this is a competition between these NXT rookies, and Daniel Bryan is making an impression.
Walls of Jericho. Hey, look at this. Look, he's got the knee.
Tapped out. He tapped.
Yeah, Bryan taps out. He had no choice there, ladies and gentlemen.
I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but Josh Matthews lets us know that next week we get to see just Justin Gabriel, so hell yeah, gonna see a 450 splash. Jericho says he wants Wade Barrett to do his ring introduction. Wade Barrett then starts rambling about some bullshit, and Jericho snatches the mic and tells him to just introduce him. Bryan tries to kick off the match by shaking hands with Jericho, but he slaps it away. Matt Striker then, in the middle of the match, interviews Wade Barrett, and it is god-awful. Back in the actual ring, Daniel Bryan hits a suicide dive and flies into the announce table. He then goes up to the top rope, but Jericho catches him and tries to lock in the walls of Jericho. But Bryan reverses this into a knee bar. Jericho desperately gets to the ropes, and Bryan gets back up, takes his time with this, and goes to pick Jericho up, but Jericho is waiting for him and hits a codebreaker. He then locks in the Lion Tamer for good measure to get the win. After the match, the Miz jumps in the ring and beats up Bryan, and that's your main event there. What did you guys think of Daniel Bryan and Chris Jericho's first ever meeting?
Well, I don't know if you guys know about the promo with Wade Barrett. I don't know where I heard it, but I'm pretty sure he didn't realize, he forgot what Jericho asked him when he told him to introduce him, and so he wasn't sure what to do, so he just started cutting a promo.
I think that was when he was on Talk Is Jericho, maybe a year ago, when he's like, Stu Bennett's trying to be a movie star.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. But I remember him telling that story, and then I thought that was funny. I didn't know it was on this show. I knew it was at some point, but that was pretty funny how he didn't know what he was doing.
How did he not know what Jericho said? It's not like there was a lot to pay attention to. It's just like, I want you to introduce me.
Introduce him, yeah. I don't know. But at the start, young Bryan Danielson trying to adhere to the code of honor, but Jericho didn't do that, and he wouldn't make it in Ring of Honor. Wouldn't last 1 second with the Briscoe brothers. The match, even though it was short, was pretty solid, I guess. It wasn't too bad. There's not much you can really do. What was that, 6 minutes? So they gave it a shot, and not bad. And we got a nice little recap to close it out. That's all I've really got for the notes, I think.
What did you think, Nat?
I mean, I didn't think much of the match. It was you know what? I actually take that back. It was a pretty good match, but kind of just felt like it meant nothing. But in other news, you can buy a Kairi Sane pirate hat on WWEshop.com. I found that out while watching this. The match was pretty good, though.
I mean, yeah, I completely agree. This is probably the greatest 5 or 6 minute match you're ever going to see.
12, yeah.
I thought in Bryan's first ever WWE match, he's already showing that he's better than Chris Jericho. Bryan's just so good in the ring here. He might not have the character or the look at this point in time, but you could tell that this dude just knows what he's doing in the ring. He's a cut above all of the other rookies that we've seen here. Clearly a cut above David Otunga, who couldn't even hit his finisher correctly. It was the only move he needed to hit in the match.
That's harsh.
But yeah, Bryan flying into the announce table with the suicide dive kind of makes this match even more interesting. And yeah, I actually, my first time viewing this match was playing it in the 2K19 Daniel Bryan showcase mode.
Well,
that was the first time. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna play this, and then you fucking lose to Chris Jericho. Like, damn it. But yeah, I really enjoyed this match, and it kind of saved the show for me. Because the two matches before this weren't anything to really talk about, and then the opening promo was god-awful, so thank God this match sort of saved it. I honestly can't believe that they subjected the world champion to this show.
Yeah, that's true.
Jericho's on top of the game, about to have a big high-profile match with Edge at WrestleMania, and before his weekly job at SmackDown, he's got to fucking help Wade Barrett bumble through a fucking ring introduction. And finally, just wanted to shout out Wade Barrett's entrance attire. He's got a big old, oversized jacket, has a white flower on it, and also a chain necklace. So, thought thought it was just a real mishmash.
Just getting all the gimmicks. Bit of a DDP kind of operator.
He's just running around backstage and he's like, what can I find and put on?
Oh, can I borrow that flower?
You using that chain over there to lock up anything? No? Oh, okay, I'm going to wear it around my neck. But yeah, that match is pretty solid. There's not a whole lot to talk about, though, obviously, because it's only 6 minutes long. After that, it's not the end of the show, because Matt Striker kind of signs off real weirdly with the other rookies backstage. We then, which I was not expecting, we get a video package summing up the entire show and everything that just happened. Like, this is Wrestle fucking Mania.
It was good. I didn't even have to watch it.
I know, they should just put that on the network.
Alright.
Why did they do this? Like,
might have been getting the production team to just get a bit of practice in before WrestleMania.
actually, that could be a good point. They're like, yeah, quickly put in this fucking Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho match into a video package. But yeah, like, I was, when that started playing, I was like, oh, is this WrestleMania? Did I skip something? But
Because they used Wild and Young, so I thought they were playing the intro again.
that's what I thought at first. I'm like, oh, we're going to go out with the intro, cool. But yeah, that happens. I mean, I'll never really completely knock another chance to hear Wild and Young by American Bang, but
Yeah.
it was definitely caught me off guard. But yeah, that does us for the first ever episode of NXT. What did you boys think was the best match or the best segment of the night?
Best match is the main event, and the best segment is just David Otunga's little promo. It's good quality stuff. Got to see the president, so can't complain.
What did you think, Nat?
It was alright. It fell a little flat as an opening to. It was your first episode of a brand new like kind of show. I felt like it kind of felt a bit flat with the way they presented it.
What was your best match?
Oh shit!
Are you doing a bit there? Were you trying to be like Wade Barrett?
I don't know.
Just introduce him, Nathan, please.
Well, the best match is. I mean, there's only 2 real matches. I mean, I guess that's the main event. How about you even fucking ask me?
I was gonna let you go then, but I just had to take it because of Wade Barrett. Yeah, look, the main event is definitely the best match. I'm pretty partial to Michael Tarver's video package because he says that he's Mr. 1.9 seconds.
Yeah, that's true.
That's funny. He's wearing funny outfits. So there's that. On the flip side, what did we think was the worst match or segment of the night?
Worst match is the squash. I don't know. Probably the opening segment. That wasn't great.
What about you, Nat?
Probably seeing Skip Sheffield backstage, and match probably Darren Young.
That's the corn-fed meathead. Thank you very much.
Corn-fed meathead. Is that his nickname?
He had a ring jacket that said corn-fed meathead.
Have you never seen the photo of Trent Beretta wearing that jacket and a hard hat for some reason?
That's the only reason I
search this up.
That's the only reason I know what the jacket said is because of the photo of Trent Beretta.
Which is weird. I feel like Trent Beretta, like, I don't know, when was he ever on a WWE show while he was Skip Sheffield? Was Beretta part of an NXT season, or did he just get to like randomly show up one day and then be part of the glorious season 5?
I thought he was just teaming with Kalen Croft. I don't know.
Shout out to Kalen Croft, by the way. He's just like a lawyer now or something.
I don't know why I was such a Dude Busters fan. I don't know why they didn't do anything with it.
The internet used to be huge fans of the Dude Busters. Me and Nat used to bloody always go on the WFigs forum, and fuck, everybody would just go on about the Dude Busters. I'm like, I don't even know who these guys are. They just compete on Superstars, and I don't get home early enough to watch that.
Yeah, they're good guys.
I was just having a look at Trent's Wikipedia to try and figure out if he was, ever got to be part of NXT properly. And then I find out that he worked in WWE's developmental territory, FCW, in drag as the girl from Mexico.
For fuck's sake.
Wow.
I don't even remember what we were up to. Did you say your worst segment of the night?
Yeah, I was seeing Skip Sheffield, but now that I've seen this Trent photo, well, he looks like a cross between Steven Regal, Real Man's Man, and Stone Cold, with a bit of Eric Bugenhagen about those fucking board shorts.
He's a good looker, and I've just now looked at the Discord at PJ Black. Holy shit! That first image, if you didn't tell me that was fucking Justin Gabriel, I would not know.
PCO looks better aged.
What the hell? He looks like a completely different man.
Yeah, PCO actually does look younger somehow, I reckon.
Surely he's dyed that beard grey.
I don't know, man. Bit strange.
Very weird. Worst match of the night, definitely Otunga's match. It wouldn't be so bad if Otunga actually hit the one move he was supposed to hit, but he didn't, so he gets worst match of the night. And yeah, I really hated the opening introduction segment and then Bryan's promo. That kind of made me cringe the entire way through. So yeah, not a big fan of that. Overall thoughts on the kind of the quality of the debut episode of NXT here, Pricey?
Nat sort of hit the nail on the head a bit before. It wasn't the best way to introduce a brand new show, but we get plenty of highlights later on through the NXT game show sort of thing. So they could have done better, but I don't know. The main event wasn't too bad. Closed it out strong.
Yeah, look, wasn't a great first up episode, but they had a winning formula here. There's a reason it lasted for 2 years, and nobody wanted to cancel season 5. They just kept it going because they knew this was the lifeblood of WWE. I want to know what Vince was thinking at the time when season 5 dropped the any sort of game show format and there was just a weekly show. Was Vince involved? Who was booking that?
I don't
know.
I really want to know that. It just gives off the vibe that the wrestlers would just show up and they're let's book it ourselves. EC3 is gonna yeah, we're gonna do a fucking feud with Maxine tonight. I won't ask you your overall thoughts now because you already gave them.
Sorry, I didn't know you wanted me to introduce you. Have it your way.
That's a good impression.
Barrage.
So the aftermath of this very first episode, Daniel Bryan would be the winner of the first Pro Poll, which took place about a month later on March 30th. There was the 6th week of competition. Wade Barrett would then win the Pro Poll every single time afterwards. In the very first elimination episode that aired on May 11, both Daniel Bryan and Michael Tarver were eliminated by WWE management and removed from that night's Pros Poll after both made comments about wanting to be voted off. The show then ended with 3 eliminations, with Skip Sheffield ranked last in the poll. On May 18th, in the 13th week of the show, Darren Young was voted off. And on May 21st, as we mentioned earlier, Carlito was released from his WWE contract for refusing rehab after violating the wellness program, and subsequent pros polls were held without him for the rest of the season, so it was lucky Michael Tarver was voted out early on, or otherwise he just wouldn't have had a pro. On May 25th, in the 14th week of the show, Heath Slater was voted off. And then on June 1st, which was the show's finale, Justin Gabriel was first voted off, and then David Otunga would lose out to Wade Barrett in the final. So, the WWE were real high on David Otunga here, giving him the runners-up spot. Jesus.
Yeah, how the fuck did he make it to the final too? He snuck in.
Honestly, if they had have had the fan voting like they did from season 2 onwards, I feel like Gabriel would have won the whole thing. Either that or Bryan.
Yeah, that's true.
But, I mean, Bryan got voted out in such a kayfabe way, so they probably still would have done that. But the fans will see Justin Gabriel doing flippy shit, and they'll be like, you know what? He's the WWE's next breakout superstar. So I've got the win-loss records for each rookie throughout season 1 here, and no surprise, Wade Barrett is on top here. He had a win-loss record of 8 wins, 5 losses. We then got Justin Gabriel on 7 wins and 4 losses, and the same for Darren Young. David Otunga only had a 6-win and 5-loss record, despite getting to the very end of the show. Heath Slater was 5 wins, 6 losses. Skip Sheffield was 2 wins, 5 losses. Michael Tarver was 1 win, 7 losses. And Daniel Bryan was 0 wins, 10 losses. Which, I don't even know how he had that many matches. How did he have 10 matches? Was he on the show for 10 weeks? I don't think he was.
12 weeks.
Because they're eliminated week 12, so probably.
Oh, really? Yeah, I thought it was before then, but yeah. He's basically wrestling every week. Daniel Bryan's a workhorse. So immediately after the conclusion of Season 1, the rookies were used in a storyline that's pretty famous. It was the Nexus Alliance storyline. It was led by...
I must have missed that one.
I didn't miss that one. You know why? Because the week after, when Wade Barrett was introducing what the Nexus was, I couldn't sleep on the Saturday night. Had footy the next day, junior footy on the old Sunday. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go lay on the couch and watch whatever's on. And apparently they play replays of Raw on fucking at 3 a.m. So I'm like, oh, you beauty, I'll settle down to watch Wade Barrett's promo. And I don't know if Homeboy got out 3 words before it sent me to sleep.
Ouch.
That was all. Fun fact, that was also the same weekend where Michael Barlow broke his leg for Freo.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Sad times.
jeez, bad memory.
Because I woke up and I'm like, oh, what the fuck's Fox 8 playing? I switched over to Fox Footy and then Michael Barlow was the replay of him snapping his leg.
Oh, yeah.
So Barrett led this group and invaded the first Raw following the conclusion of Season 1 in an attempt to gain contracts for the losers of NXT. The invasion consisted of the group attacking Cena as well as other wrestlers and WWE personnel. Daniel Bryan would end up being fired and rehired almost immediately here for choking out Justin Roberts, but they eventually come to their senses and rehire him. Barrett is the recipient of a WWE Championship match for winning the show, and he announced that he would invoke his title shot at Night of Champions for the WWE Championship in a 6-pack challenge. At the event on September 19th, Barrett would lose his title match to Randy Orton, and just... why on earth would you invoke your title shot in a 6-pack challenge? This makes literally no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you got another match eventually down the line.
Yeah, but he had to do a lot of politicking, to get that.
Politicking? He got John Cena on his side, mate. That's not politicking. That's smart business.
Yeah, Cena was probably my favourite member of the Nexus, up there with Husky Harris. So I decided to put together a little bit of a where are they now for the NXT superstars that are featured in this season, and kind of see where they ended up after this. So obviously Wade Barrett had a semi-successful WWE run, is now trying to be a movie guy. Justin Gabriel had a pretty lackluster WWE run and now wrestles in Ring of Honor as PJ Black, although I'm not entirely sure that actually is Justin Gabriel. I'm going to need a DNA test because that does not look anything like him. Darren Young had a decently successful tag run with Titus O'Neil as the primetime players and has wrestled sporadically on the indies as Fred Rosser since being released by the WWE in 2017. So you're going to get over with that name, Darren. Fucking, here comes Fred. There's no way you can make that roll off the tongue nicely.
Yeah.
So David Otunga had a dogshit in-ring career with WWE, but has managed to kick around as an on-screen character, first with John Laurinaitis, and now he's still featured on WWE's kickoff shows. So good for you, Otunga. You might not be married to old mate anymore, but you still have a job. Heath Slater floundered for a while before being put into 3MB and was part of the greatest match of all time, WLC. He also managed to have a successful run as a SmackDown Tag Team Champion with Rhino at the beginning of the brand split. Skip Sheffield would break his leg while in Nexus and was eventually repackaged as Ryback, very nearly becoming WWE Champion. Now he's just a complete lunatic on Twitter. And we've got Michael Tarver, whose career was a complete letdown despite having a pretty cool look in the ring. On the October 4 edition of Raw, Tarver was attacked by Cena, with Barrett later stating that he would have thrown Tarver out of the Nexus anyway, but Cena did him a favour. The storyline was put in place due to Tarver sustaining a groin injury. As Nat mentioned, at the December 9 FCW television tapings, he returned against Donnie Marlow. In 2011, Tarver began mysteriously appearing in the background of backstage segments on Raw and SmackDown. However, nothing would come of this, and on June 13th of the same year, it was announced that Tarver had been released from his contract. And then this Daniel Bryan guy didn't go on to do anything of note, I don't think. You guys know what he did after this angle?
Well, I mean, this is the first time I've watched him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He seems pretty average. I don't think he's going to go on to do anything.
He's a B+ player.
It says here he married Brie Bella. That's pretty important, I would have thought.
That's pretty cool. Maybe you can ask John Laurinaitis if he still knows anyone high up in WWE and get him hired there for a job.
That's it.
So obviously Bryan had the best career of the NXT Season 1 rookies, but outside of him, who do you reckon went on to be to have the best WWE career?
It's very clearly Wade Barrett.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, Ryback got probably closest to being world champion apart from Bryan, but Barrett overall had a much better career, I think.
Accolades, Wade Barrett, 5-time Intercontinental Champion compared to Ryback, a 1-time champion, and he won King of the Ring, and he was always featured, and, I mean, he never had to be fully repackaged. Skip Sheffield did.
He had different gimmicks as well, like sort of reincarnations of Barrett and bad news. And stuff
he was
like
the
that.
Cosmic King.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't know. I think you could make a case for probably Heath Slater. He's had a sustained run.
No, what singles shit has he done?
I mean, you don't need to be a singles guy.
Yeah, you do.
Heath Slater.
When you're comparing careers, he has done nothing. What's he done this year?
He was a referee.
What did he do last year?
He was a referee. His
What did he do
tag
last year?
partner got fired.
Exactly.
What did Wade Barrett do this year?
Fucking playing movies.
Making money.
Making money, baby.
Movies that you buy at Walmart in the $5 bin.
He's probably still making more money than Heath Slater.
Fucking Stu Bennett.
How many fucking Intercontinental Championships has Heath Slater got?
I mean,
It's 0.
in his I've Got Kids run, he was more over than basically any of the other NXT people have ever been.
I don't know. The bad news Barrett was pretty over.
Yeah, I guess. Especially that time that Jerry the King Lawler stood up and said, "Hey Barrett, maybe next week you won't be here." That was peak of any of the NXT rookies' careers. I mean, you guys have got to give a special mention to Darren Young as well. He had a pretty sustained run with Titus O'Neil.
I mean, they won the titles for like a hot second.
Yeah, and they also stayed on Superstars and Main Event for ages.
Yeah, but Darren Young also could have made America great again.
Darren Young needed Bob Backlund to get relevant again, and still didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
He got a singles match on pay-per-view. It's probably more than Justin Gabriel could say.
He got the singles match at the worst time. It was when the draft was happening.
Yeah, it was like right before the draft. They just need something like the holdover until the draft was done.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think they should have strapped the Rockets to Darren Young.
I mean, you can't strap a rocket to that hair.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad he changed that hair up. Jesus Christ. So that kind of does us for NXT. Thanks for listening to the Wrestle Hunks podcast. You can find the show on Twitter and Instagram at Wrestle Hunks Pod. I'm on Twitter as @Source Marlow. Pricey is on Twitter as @EvilBrodyPrice. And Nat is on Twitter as @Nath Marlow. You can also find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Spotify, all good podcast services. And feel free to give us a rate on whatever service you use to listen to this podcast. So we've come to the part of the podcast where each member suggests a show to cover for next week's episode, and we then chuck that up into a Twitter poll to let the fans decide. And I've decided this week I'm going to try and get another WCW show up in the poll. I noticed that it's by the time next week's episode airs, it'll be kind of around the 19 years since Randy Savage made his last appearance in WCW. It's in a big-ass battle royal. There's literally like 50 people in this battle royal on Thunder. That's won by Ric Flair. I'm not even sure what the battle royal's for, so I hope it gets up. Just so because it's big Vito's in it, and Buff Bagwell, Chris Candido, Ernest the Cat Miller, Horace Hogan.
His last match is at December 5th, 2004.
He does, yeah, in TNA with
AJ, Jeff Hardy, and Randy Savage defeat Jeff Jarrett, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall. That's amazing.
It's a hell of a fucking star-studded lineup, his final ever match. But yeah, other matches on this card. There's Lex Luger defeating The Wall in a tables match. Ric Flair has a no contest with Billy Kidman. We've also got Hulk Hogan going on one-on-one with Scott Steiner, and then Sting wrestles Mike Awesome, so it's a just random show.
Nice.
Pricey, what are you chucking into the poll?
Yeah, I've got I stumbled across this the other day. I don't remember why, but it's Bragging Rights 2009. One thing I thought about putting up the WrestleMania that had the 60-minute Iron Man match when we were doing the WrestleMania reviews the other couple of weeks ago, and I thought I don't really want to make everyone sit through 60 minutes of a match from the 90s, but I'm going to make everyone try and sit through a 60-minute match from 2009. Cena and Orton have a 60-minute Iron Man match, so that'll be something. There's Team SmackDown vs Team Raw for the Bragging Rights Trophy, which very prestigious. Fatal 4-way match for the world title, Undertaker, Batista, CM Punk, Rey Mysterio. So that's something, and we get to see The Miz versus John Morrison. So
yay!
Plenty of stuff on that card, I would have thought.
Oh, it sounds like a great show.
Yeah.
Nat, what are you putting into the poll?
I'm putting up the SmackDown Live episode from 2017, June 7th, where they had a women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and it was a rematch from the pay-per-view before. And so we have the Money in the Bank match. It's actually a 5-way. We also get to see Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn get it on. But Alana says, I want the SmackDown title, and she challenges Naomi on this show, and we get the Usos versus the Hype Bros.
That's my favourite era of SmackDown there.
Some good names there, and I'm excited.
Can't wait to see James Ellsworth.
I'm excited because I know this is going to win.
That's not peak Lana. Peak Lana is bitch, I'm salty Lana.
Bitch, I'm salty.
What?
Oh,
You don't watch WWE YouTube stuff.
You've missed out, mate.
I only watch Xavier Woods.
You don't watch Lana's channel.
I only watch Xavier Woods.
Yeah, well, you should change that, mate. You should expand your horizons.
So, do either of you have anything you want to chuck in for a wild card?
I don't know. Not off the top of my head. I've been busy looking at Nat mentioned Kairi Sane's hat on WWE Shop, so I'm looking at Nat, did you see a coin pouch that you can get?
No, I didn't. I mean, I missed that one.
$7.75 comes with coins as well. So.
Wow.
How much can I use them for? What are they worth?
It's a good
Oh my
question.
god, with coins. I can't believe that.
That's
a bargain.
They're Kairi Sane coins. So
That's a bargain. I can't say anything else.
You'd be insane to pass it up.
Oh, we should do an ad for that. Hit it up, WWE.
I'm just having a look through a few things here. I've just randomly plucked out Battleground 2013. I'm gonna have a look at this, see if it's see what's going on here. Oh, Alberto Del Rio and RVD in a hardcore match for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm sold.
That's in.
I'm sold. When did this match happen?
salty.
What?
I'm salty.
Oh man, Curtis Axel retaining the Intercontinental Championship against R-Truth. Don't remember that ever happening. AJ Lee and Brie Bella for the the Divas Championship. Oh, this is the Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus the Shield pay-per-view.
That's a good match from memory.
There's that. There's CM Punk and Ryback. Jesus, this is a pay-per-view and a half. Damian Sandow gets a gig on it. I'm chucking that in there. Battleground 2013.
Let's go.
I just want to see RVD getting a world title shot in 2013. Unbelievable. Pigs must be flying. So do either of you have anything you want to say before we sign off here?
No, I've spoken enough about Kairi Sane's coin pouch if anyone wants to pick that up. So
I'm sure there are a lot of marks out there that want to pick up Kairi Sane's coin pouch, if you know what I mean.
Jesus. I was just going to say you could fill it up with get a treasure chest like she had and fill it up with the coins and then put the NXT women's title in there and yeah.
Nat, you got anything to say before we sign off here?
No.
Well, that's all for this week. And before I say the line, I just want to tell all the fans out there, please, after you finish listening to this episode, go watch Dead Man Down, starring Stu Bennett as Kilroy. And then after you finish watching that, just kind of look out for Adrian's Street Story, You May Be Pretty But I Am Beautiful, coming out in 2018. Vengeance 2 with Stu Bennett starring as John Gold, that's in post-production. and Jacob the Awakening, which is in pre-production, and Stu Bennett is rumoured to be Jacob. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. Yeah, you know, he's really doing lots of great things as Jacob the Awakening. So
and in the new Avengers movie era.
What?
I think he's trying to be clever and make
Oh, that was funny because I didn't spoil it and I snapped my fingers like weird. So topical, man.
Okay.
Well, with that said, that's all for this week, and stay Jacob the Awakening.
Had some sausage. You guys want some sausage?
Pork rib. Bologna.
Okay, no.
There's a cool IMDb list here. Best wrestlers that never became world champions. I think that means Stu Bennett.
Wade Barrett.
Sausage.